So in today's class, we are going to discuss about Diffie-Hellman key exchange algorithm. Okay, and this algorithm is particularly used for key exchange. So okay, here we are not going to do any encryption. So far we had discussed RSA algorithm and DES algorithm, AES algorithm. All these are used to change your plain text to ciphertext, and in the decryption we are again converting the ciphertext to plain text. But here we are going to use the key exchange process between the sender and the receiver. Okay, and these are the main points. Okay, after that I will show you the another slide. From there you can understand, but this the main points I have written. Okay, so here sender and receiver, we are going to share the same secret key. Secret key means it is symmetric encryption. We are used same key for both sender and receiver. This key is used for encryption and the same key is used for decryption. Then we can say it is symmetric encryption. So such a secret key is going to transmit safely from the sender to receiver. How we are going to transfer or exchange the same key between these two parties means by using some calculations. Now how to transmit means by using some calculations, or we can say both sender and receiver are going to generate same key. Okay, K is the key they are going to generate at both sender side and the receiver side, and they are going to generate this key with the help of public key encryption. Okay, so this Diffie-Hellman key exchange algorithm, it is not an encryption algorithm. It is to use or to exchange the secret or symmetric key between the two parties. So exchange happens. How this is going to happen, how this exchange is going to happen means it is with the help of public key encryption. Okay, in public key encryption, one such algorithm we had discussed in last class. What is this public key encryption? What we had discussed in last class? Anyone? What is the algorithm we had used with the public key encryption? Are you hearing, ma? Are you hearing? So, but here the Diffie-Hellman key exchange algorithm, here we are using the technique to transfer the keys or to exchange the keys between the receiver and the sender. Okay, here we will see about the discuss of steps of algorithm. Okay, the first step in the algorithm is we have to assume a prime number q. Okay, we have to assume a prime number q, and second step, select alpha such that alpha is the primitive root of q. So that is the condition. First we have to assume any prime number q, and number two we have to select alpha such that alpha should be the primitive root of q, and second condition, alpha should be less than q also. Okay, alpha should be less than q and alpha should be the primitive root of q. So now let us see what is primitive root. Primitive root, for example, if a is said to be the primitive root of p, then we can write a mod p comma a square mod p. Find out pandro, a mod p find out panna, you will get one answer. Then a square mod p find out pannu. So up to etc. up to a power p minus 1 mod p. So this find out pandrappa, you will be getting so many results. So but this results should be the edavadhu or number irukonu kandipa 1 2 and the p minus 1 values kullara all values should be there, but it can be random. So but should be unique. So for example, இதனுடைய answer வந்து 3 வருது, இதனுடைய answer 2 வருது, இதனுடைய answer வந்து 5 வருது அப்படினா, so you should get all the numbers uniquely once. So then only we can say that a is the primitive root of p. Next, third step, this is we have to generate the keys. So that is private key and public key we are going to generate for both users. For example, if you consider user A to be the sender, then we can assume XA. Okay, X represents private key and Y represents public key. A suffix represents sender. So XA represents the private key of user A, and what is the value you have to consider means XA should be less than Q. So first step we are assuming one prime number, and this private key should be less than that prime number. Less than that prime number, you can assume any value as the private key. Next, then he has to calculate the public key. Now, how to calculate the public key of user A? The formula is Y represents public key, A represents user A. So, YA equal to alpha power XA, this private root. So, okay, private key. Because this is the public key and A is the user, he knows his private key because this is the number going to assume by A. So, A knows his private key and is this Q also known. So from that you can calculate the public key. So now you have with you the user A is having his private key and public key. Okay, private key can be represented. Key means capital K. Private means R for user A and public is KU for A user. Okay, in this way you have to calculate the private keys and public keys. This is key generation process. Similarly, for user B can be considered to be the receiver. Okay, so here also assume X represents private key, Y represents public key. So now XB is the private key of user B, and you have to select XB, which should be less than Q. Similarly, calculate YB, that is the public key of user B. So here you can calculate because B is the user, he knows his private key, and alpha is the primitive root of this prime number Q. So okay, YB is equal to alpha power XB mod Q. So now as a result you have this private key and public key XB and YB. So in the previous step for user A we are calculating the private key and public key, and in the next step for the receiver we have calculated we are assumed the XB and we have calculated this YB. So you have to use the words accordingly, whether it is assuming or selecting or it is calculating. Next step is the key generation process. So okay, in the public key generation, now public key is available for all the users. Public key means it is in the network. So every user are having the public key we had distributed. So public key Y keys are available. Y na capital letter Y. Y represents public key and that is available for all users, and private key should not be shared. So now how to calculate now user A, that is secret keys. Okay, what is the purpose of Diffie-Hellman algorithm? Both sender A and B are going to share the same secret keys. One key that is going to be shared between two parties. For example, this K is going to be generated by sender. Okay, so sender has to use the public key of receiver. Okay, Y represents public key, it is available. Okay, YB is available using that public key, and XA is private key. A knows his private key. Okay, so he is using XA and mod Q. So by using this formula, K is generated. Similarly, at the receiver, B has to generate the key. Here he is using K is equal to public key. So everybody knows the public keys of all users. So YA is known for everyone in the network, and since it is B, he has only his private key. So okay, XB is the private key and it is known only to B and mod Q. By using this formula, he is generating the same key. So both this K value and this K value should be the same. Then only we can say that key exchange is success, because both are going to use the same secret key. So the key here is K. So actually we are not transmitting the keys, we are calculating use at the sender, and we are going to calculate at the receiver by using some formulas. If K is same, then only we can say that exchange is success. Okay. So now the same steps we are going to discuss with the example problem. So the first step we have to assume the prime number Q. So now let us see the example problem. Okay. The first step, let us discuss. We have to assume the prime number Q. Okay, first step, assume the prime number Q. So assume Q is equal to 11. Step 2, we have to select alpha. Alpha should be the primitive root of Q, and alpha should be less than Q. So here also we are selecting alpha value. So what we know, so let us explain you what is the primitive root. Okay, see here. So we have to select alpha value. Alpha we know what is the primitive root formula? A mod P. Okay. So alpha power 1 mod 11, alpha power 2 mod 11, etc. up to P minus 1. So here the value is what? 11. 11 minus 1, 10. Alpha power 10 mod 11. So we have to find out the answers for all these, and the answers should be exactly the unique values of 1, 2, etc. up to 10. Okay. So here let me write the powers here. Okay. Actually the values is 1 to 10. Power values is what? 1, 2, 3, etc. up to 10. So here I am representing the powers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And here I am going to write the numbers. Okay, 1, 2, 3. So these values represents your numbers. So now first to find out alpha power 1 mod 11. For example, alpha equal to 1 you consider. So this represents alpha value. For example, 1. 1 power 1 mod 11 represents what? 1. Next, 1 power alpha value is 1. 1 power 2. 1 power 2 is also what? 1. Again 1 power mod 11 is, if it is a smaller number, okay, if 11 here it is a smaller number less than 11 means you will be getting the same remainder. You cannot divide that. So all the values you are getting 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay, alpha power 10 means 1 power 10 mod 11. So 1 mod 11. So it is 1. So if you take the number alpha equal to 1, you get all the answers to be 1. And if all the answers are same, it is not in the unique set. So we cannot consider 1 alpha equal to 1 because alpha is not a primitive root here. Okay, now take the value 2, alpha equal to 2. So first 2 power 1 mod 11. 2 power 1 is 2. 2 mod 11 is 2. Next to 2 power 2. 2 2s are 4. 4 mod 11. So 4 mod 11 is actually 4. Next to alpha power 3. 4 2s are 8. 8 mod 11 is 8. So 8 is smaller number. So you have to write. Okay, next value. 8 2s are 16. Okay, 16 mod here. 16 mod 11. So what is the difference? Never 11 table. Ones are 11. So the remainder will be 5. So 16 mod 11, the value is 5. So you have to write here. Next, what is the next value? 16 2s are 32. So 5 power. Okay. 2 power 5 is 32. 32 mod 11. So mod 11 now the value will be, remainder will be 32 means 22. 2s are 22 and the remainder will be 10. So here the remainder value is 10. And next 32 2s are 64. For 2 power 6 you have 64 mod 11. And when you divide 64 by 11, the remainder will be 7. So you are writing that. Next 62 2s are 128. Okay, 128 mod 11. Okay, if you divide 11s are 121 and the remainder will be 7. So you are writing that 7 here. 122 2s are 256. That is 2 power 8. So for 2 power 8, it is 256. When you divide, the remainder is 3. Similarly, 5 1 12, the remainder is 6. 1024, the remainder is 1. So now you are getting the answers here. So the answers are what? 1, 2, 3. It is the unique set. It belongs to the unique set. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All the values are unique and you get all the answers. So now we can say 2 is the primitive root of 11. Okay. 2 is the primitive root of 11. Similarly, if you find for 3, okay, 3 power 1 mod 11, it is 3. Next 3 power 2, 3 3s are 9 mod 11, it is 9. Okay, next 9 3s are 27, 27 mod 11, the remainder will be 5. Okay, next after 27, 27 3s are 81, 81 mod 11, the remainder will be 4. Similarly, if you find for 3, you can also get the same unique set as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you can call 3 also to be the primitive root of 11. Okay, if you get this condition, that is the condition is a mod p, a square mod p, a power p minus 1 mod p. If the result is 1, 2, 3, etc. up to p minus 1, this should be the unique set. Then we can say this is the primitive root of this. Okay, similarly, you can get so many primitive roots. Okay, 2, 3, 5, 7, any numbers. If you put on, you can get this unique set and all circles represents that may be the primitive root. Okay, so within that primitive root, you can select any number to be alpha. But here for this example, I am selecting 2 to be the primitive root. You can also select 3 also. So alpha equal to 3 also you can select, but here I am taking 2. So second step, I am selecting alpha. Alpha should be less than q. So 2 is less than 11. It is the primitive root and also it is less than 11. So I am selecting alpha equal to 2. Next, third step. Third step, we have to generate the private keys. So first step, you have to select XA. It should be less than Q. So XA here I am selecting 8. 8 is less than 11. So after selecting private key, you have to calculate this public key. So now what is YA? X power 28. That is alpha means 2. So in the previous step, we had selected alpha and here XA is 8. 2 power 8 mod 11. Okay, 2 power 8 is nothing but 256. 256 mod 11. So how to find out 256 mod 11? So here you are dividing now 256 divided by 11. So you get the remainder to be 3. So here the value is 3. 256 mod 11, the remainder value is 3. So YA you have calculated, XA, YA 3, 8, 3. Similarly for user, you can select any number to be XB should be less than Q. Here I am selecting 4. 4 is less than 11. Next you have to calculate YB. YB is nothing but alpha power XB mod Q. Okay, XB is 2 power 4. 2 power 4 is 16. 16 mod 11. Next to YB equal to 5. It is 4, 5. So now in the key generation, what are all the keys we know? XA is 8 and YA is 3. Okay. XA is 8 and YA is 3. 8, 3 and here 4, 5. So 8, 3 and XB is 4, 5. So in the key generation process, this is the formula. Now substitute YB. YB value is 5. 5 power 8 mod 11 and here what is 5 power 8 mod 11? 5 into 5 is 25. So if you multiply 5 square into 5 square, 25 into 25, it is 625. Now it is 625 into 625, you get 5 power 8. So 625 into 625 is the value is 390625. If you divide that by 11, you get the remainder to be 4. So the key value we had generated at the sender is 4. Similarly, at the receiver B, we have to calculate the same formula. Not the same formula, the formula at receiver is YA, public key of A and private key of B. So now if you substitute what is YA, YA it is 3. 3 power XB is 4. 3 power 4 mod 11. 3 power 4 means 3 square into 3 square. 9 into 9. 9 into 9, sorry, 81 mod 11. So the value is 4. So the sender and receiver they are generating the same key values. K value is 4 at the sender and K value at receiver also 4. This means the key is successfully exchanged between the two parties. So this is the use of Diffie-Hellman algorithm. So are you all understand, ma? So this is the Diffie-Hellman algorithm. Thank you, students. Are you all able to listen, pa? So this is the Diffie-Hellman algorithm. Here we are discussing how to exchange between two parties. So okay, thank you, pa. We'll discuss rest in next class.